Hi, my name is Ed Riffle, and for the last 2 years, I have been taking phone calls and emails at the county headquarters of the Republican Party in my county, and I've learned a lot in those 2 years talking to Republicans of all sorts of different stripes, actually all across the state of California, mostly from my county, but also from kind of far-flung counties because we seem to be one of the few county headquarters that actually is staffed during the week, and so we take phone calls. I've learned a lot by taking those phone calls about what rank and file, everyday Republicans are thinking. And one of the things that's a recurring theme is they think that the Republican Party stands for nothing. Uh, During the last couple of years, I found that Republicans, at least Republicans who call into the party, they don't love the party. They don't love the party at all. They love Donald Trump, but they don't love the party. And the party, to a large degree, during the last election cycle, abandoned Donald Trump and also did not run on Republican issues. So I'm doing this video. If you think the video has merit, please send it to anyone you know who's running for office as a Republican in California or anywhere for that matter, anywhere where there's a weak Republican Party. And believe me, in California, we have a weak Republican Party. Now, it's not the people who are running the Republican Party are really good people, really nice people. But there's a history, and it's not a good one. It's a history of losing. And so what has kind of happened is the culture has changed, and these wonderful, nice people tend to get candidates running for Republican offices, running for partisan office, who are very nice people who um, are really good losers. When they lose, they're not going to be really upset. And the other thing is that they can self-fund their campaigns, or at least they know enough wealthy people that they can get up enough to put on some sort of a campaign. The end result, though, has been loser, loser, loser. There's a way to change this, I think. You don't win by offending the base of your party. And that's what the Republican Party in California has done consistently. The base of the party is conservative. The base of the party believes in Republican ideals. They believe in the Constitution. They believe in the rule of law. And they're adamant about that. And when their candidates don't really reflect that and don't fight for us, that tends to be a problem. One of the things that has hurt us greatly in California is the Republican Party, if you will, reaction to the COVID rules and regulations, okay? The things that close down small businesses. Republicans are the ones who own small businesses. Republicans aren't wealthy people. They're people who are trying to get wealthy by establishing businesses and people who work for those small businesses. Big businesses, they're all Democrats. We know that from the way the donations go in. So our base, we abandoned our base. We didn't stick up for our base. Our base also is people who are religious. We didn't stand up for our base. We didn't fight like we should have fought. And that has hurt the Republican Party. That's many of the people who've called in and talked to me have said that. Where is the Republican Party on protecting us from the overreaching government? Where is the Republican Party insisting on law and order? They don't see it as around doing that at all. I think that if a person is running as a Republican, they need to fight, okay, to fight. The Democrats stand for a lot of things. They stand for lawlessness. They stand for discriminating based on race, color, creed, and sexual preference and a whole bunch of other things. And we don't call them. Our candidates are so nice and polite. We don't call them on it. And that disappoints the base. Really the basic things that people seem to be concerned about, and I think Democrats would come over to our side, or decline to states would come over to our side if we stood for something. Law and order. Okay, law and order, starting with the kind of the biggest thing, is securing the borders. I don't think there's a person in California that hasn't been impacted by unsecure borders. The fentanyl, the number of people died from fentanyl that came across the border because we're not stopping it. The people who have been victimized by criminals who've come across the border. How about the number of people who've been hit by drunk drivers or hit and run drivers that are here in this country illegally? That's one place to start. All of the Democrats are for open borders. They don't care about the people dying from fentanyl. They don't care about the schools being overrun by people who can't speak English, and all the time and attention and money has to go to catering to those people. We're letting our base down, okay? And we're not getting our base to vote, and we're not recruiting any Democrats. There's plenty of people who are Democrats who have been impacted by all of these things. Law and order. How about laws against theft? How many of you had your Walgreens shut down and had to go to a different Walgreens? Anything under $900, they don't do anything about it. And just a couple of days ago, or maybe it was even yesterday, in Los Angeles, a 7-Eleven store was terrorized by 100 people coming in and just stealing everything that they could. What about the homelessness? Okay, in California, we have homeless everywhere, and there's more and more coming. Why? Because we make it comfortable for the homeless to be homeless. California used to be surfer boys and surfer girls. That was our culture. Now our culture is these incredible homeless encampments, the defecating and urinating in public, the litter. In California, when I was growing up, the worst thing you could be is a litter bug. Now, litter is just accepted. You look at the sides of the roads, there's nothing but litter. That's all because of Democrat policies. And we don't fight it. We don't stand up for it. We're afraid to call it out. The lawlessness, the other day, a few weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago now, Republican headquarters in our county was attacked. It took the police, I'm sure, at least 10 minutes to get there, in spite of my 9/11 call saying that my friend had followed the attacker and I was fearful for his life. It still took 10 minutes with me saying that there was a life possibly involved here. It's frustrating to everybody. We don't have enough police. The police don't feel like we're supporting them. We're making a mistake. We have to run as Republicans. We have to run and attack the Democrats. They're all for open borders. They're all for lawlessness. They're all for discriminating based on race, color, creed, whatever. And a hell of a lot of them are for putting these sexual deviants in our schools and teaching the children how to be obsessed with sex when they're 5, 6, 7 years old. The Democrats are terrible for this state. They're terrible for this country. And we're not fighting. We need to fight. So if you're running as a Republican and you're being so nice and running on platitudes and running on, I'm a little bit different than the guy that I'm running against, I hope you're not just a little bit different. I hope that you're a lot different. But why don't you let people know that you are different? My name's Ed Riffle. I'm probably not going to be very popular after this with the Republican hierarchy. They are nice people. They're wonderful people, but they lose. We have to start winning. We got to put W's in our on our side. Thank you.